Get round 2 up. 1-0 starts pretty nice. Up against Sakura. Played him yesterday in the league. His draws are pretty bad, so I'm not entirely sure what he's on. Interesting hand. This is a really interesting one. I don't know if I want it or not. It's kind of really slow. I think I'm going to go ahead and ask for better because we're on 7 and we can go to 6 easily. We got better. Get rid of Pulse here. Yeah, he's probably on Jeskai. I saw him on Spell Stutter Sprite Jeskai yesterday, so I'm not entirely sure. We'll find out. Like, it doesn't really change what I keep and stuff. Well, it's not really so much about Astro and Tron. Like, this is just mana fixing. This is what you care about. Yeah, this is a great mulligan. So he's got Augur of Bolas, which means he's on a control list. He missed with Augur. That's ouch. So I think we're just going to go Tower Pass. I think he's just on Jeskai Ephemerate with fairies. He's going for a pretty aggressive Ephemerate. I don't really see a need to fight over this. Because yes, we eat a counterspell out of him, but right now is not really the best time to be eating counterspells out of him. I'd rather hold on to my Prohibit for later. An upgrade. That's what this was. I think next turn we just go for the Alchemy. Cheating. I stacked my deck. I just needed a mulligan for it. I messed up the first time. Probably, that's not what I wanted. I wanted the game log to see if he kept with his Ponder. Yeah, he kept with his Ponder, as he should with an Ephemerate on stack. Kind of want to fight it over it because it's 2 cards, but also it's not the end of the world if I don't. It's a counterspell. Just because I outvalue him, so I should save my counters to progress my own game plan rather than stopping his. He does have the Archaeomancer after the fact. Just kind of annoying, but it's not really the end of the world. His draw is better than ours in assembling your Archaeomancer Flicker. Well, that's pretty bad. That's a big whiff. Let's play our Prisms out. Now we have Counterspell. We can win a fight. Over his Ephemerate, unless he has double counter. That'd suck. Alright, we should be able to win this fight. Because now I've got enough gas and I've got Tron. I want to fight aggressively to stop this Ephemerate from getting too much on us. I'm basically doing the same thing, but with Tron mana. If he has Dispel, I'm very sad. I still have to fight, though. Because he's digging for land drops here, I think. That's my read. He wants the Ephemerate for Ponder because he wants his land drops. Ooh, he just lets me win the fight. I dig it. Has the Drifter after. Not going to counter the Drifter. Because I'd rather advance my own game plan here. It's a mountain, that's fine. Because if we find wall, we're probably winning this game. Yeah, people are getting really greedy. Get back our Prohibit. For Tron land draw, can hold up Counterspell and Prohibit with 2 mines. It's beautiful. Magic is in a wonderful place right now. I love it. has a second ephemerate. Yeah, we kind of have to fight over that. Just double ephemerate draw so early. Scary. I do get wrecked by a double counterspell, but he's already getting value if we lose the fight. So I kind of just want to tap him down to dig for our own ephemerate almost, as well as value. Just go there. Make him have the second. Ooh, there's a Dispel. Ever want Condescend? I think Condescend's pretty bad. Gets back his ephemerate. Ooh, he gets back Ponder. I think. No, that was his Dispel. I see. That's fine. A little rough, but nothing that's world ending. Our hand's pretty bad, which is unfortunate. Our hand's really bad now. We might lose this game to this. Need a Teachings. If we can find Teachings, we can still win. But as it is, the window is closing. His draw's a lot stronger than ours because he has the double ephemerate Archaeomancer, and we have wall 0 ephemerate. It's still winnable, but window's closing. It is a kind of a lock. He only gets back 1 spell a turn. It's just getting close to 1. We can beat an infinite counterspell as of right now. Not infinite, but +1 a turn. Like, we've got around 2 turns left. Impulse. There's the ephemerate. That's a pretty good one. Might eat a counterspell out of him. Also might not. We'll see what he does to it. He's got ephemerate on the stack, so he kind of wants to fight over it. He decides to not fight over it. We're gonna bounce our own wall here, I think. Discard the island. Because he gets back nothing right now. Like, he gets back an ephemerate, yeah, but that does nothing when he only has 1 white source. So I'm gonna target my own wall. We're going to play both of them. Get a tower here, and then the other one can get Mortmire, set up a fight next turn. Right, Mortmire's in my graveyard. Holy shit. I forgot. That's bad. It's misplay then. It's fine. It's like, as long as he's missing land drops, we can just go over the top of the amount of counterspells he has in a turn. Ideally. That's kind of the game plan right now. Once we draw Teachings, that's where we go off, really. Like, if we can find Teachings, we can win. The problem is if we just are too late on Teachings, so we lose. Kind of under a clock. Whoever draws Teachings, or if he gets enough land drops first. That's kind of the beauty of Tron. I just have more mana than my opponent, so even though he has the lock, my lock is far more powerful just because I have access to more mana. I can overload his mana as of right now. If he misses his island land drop here, we can go ahead and jam wall, and assuming we draw another counterspell or Teachings or Pulse, we can go ahead and fight over it. But he drew the islands, and now we can't win the fight unless we draw Teachings. If we do draw Teachings, we win though. At least this fight. Rolling Thunder is interesting. He has Dispels, but he can't win the fight over the Thunder. Just do that. Because he kind of has to counter it, right? And then we get to slam wall after the fact. Get back our Prohibit and do some ephemerate stuff. Actually, do I even grab... I think I actually grabbed Thunder again. He's got an ephemerate in exile and 1 in graveyard, right? You can't do anything about this. Let's just do 2 there. I don't even have to send the others anywhere. Because that's going to slow down his lock. He can have a removal spell for my wall. This buys me time to draw into the teachings. Assuming he doesn't have a second Archaeomancer in hand. That would suck. Kind of want to exile this one, but didn't have enough mana. It's not the end of the world. It's more about stopping the Archaeomancer than it is the Ephemerate. Because this buys me time, which is what I need with a hand like this. Because now we're drawing quite a bit more live. Like Mull Drifters are good again, stuff like that. Flicker's good. Flicker forces into counterspell probably on his instep. Teachings is still by far my best draw, as well as the second Alchemy. But we have time until he finds a second Archaeomancer. Which could be soon, could be later. Hard to tell. Has his third Ephemerate. That's strong. Probably on 4. Blue, blue. White. Rift Watcher. He has Dispel up. So no sense in flickering there. It's not a bad draw though. Probably hold on to it until I feel the need to draw 2. Or force a Dispel. Because I am taking damage, so I'm under a clock. Another Rift Watcher? Another Rift Watcher. Alright. Augur. So I'm assuming he doesn't have counterspell with how he's tapping here. Now he does. We might lose this game now. I drew too poorly off the top. Like I said, I just needed teachings. Or alchemy. No drifters either. That's probably the roughest spot. No drifters, no teachings. Because he immediately dispels his flicker, so I don't really see a need to go for it that aggressively. And I'm dead on board now, I think. 4-7? Yeah, we're dead on board. Unfortunate. His draw was better than ours. He found the Archaeomancer stuff. Yeah, that's what I really needed. It was unfortunate we bended on the alchemy. That happens, though. So we want Pyro. Cut Moment, cut Weather. Cut the Nova Horror. Could also afford a Hydro or 2, I think. Board like he's Tron, just about. I think that's what it will do. Could have relics, but I think it's more likely he doesn't. And he's just bringing in a bunch of blasts as well. Ephemerate plays around relic. That's the idea. Like, I don't think bringing in Grudge is worth it yet. Because I want a better fair, or I should play a better fair game, ideally. Our draw was strange that game. Like, it started off pretty strong, but then we just kind of whiffed on our card advantage. I don't think Grudge is necessary. I think it's too much of a liability to bring in. I'm aware of Griff might be good, but he also just has Scred, and I just don't value Griff high enough. I think we're going to go ahead and mulligan this one. Much better. Get rid of a map. If I was on 3 Griff, I might be more inclined to find room for it, but I think I just try and fight him on the card advantage, or Hydro Pyro fight. No, you keep in, or he keeps in Scred, usually, because you need to be able to fight over my own wall, or he needs to. Like, he only has so much sideboard. I don't think he has Relic, Pyro, and Hydro. If he has Relic, Pyro, Hydro, then he's not on enough Pyro, Hydro for me to respect, or need to respect at least. Augur's fine. Hits off the Ponder. And then I Impulse. I'd rather get Prism. We need to set up our mana. Well, it's a pretty good draw. Yeah, ideally you shouldn't be using Pyro on wall, but if I'm ephemerating wall and you only have Pyro as the answer, you kind of have to go for it. Happens. Wondering if he's on Astral after mana fixing or not. He didn't see it game one, but he very well could be. Ooh, probably is if he's just playing Ash Barons like that. I'd like to stop drawing islands. My mana's there. It's pretty awesome that we have one. We're going to go ahead and deploy wall now. I want to get the impulse, continue my value train. I just can't sit there, do nothing. We're too flooded out to do nothing. Got to be a bit more aggressive. Draw some Mull Drifters finally. I haven't seen them at all. Triple Augur draw is pretty hot. This one's blind though. It's a Dispel. Wonderful Dispel my impulse here. I'd rather have Alchemy over Drifter. Alchemy is flashback, Drifter is one-time deal. I want to find teachings, dang it. Where are you? Well, now I'll take a Drifter. Question is, do we win or lose the fight? Like, we win the fight, but do we care? I think we care. It's too snowbally to not do this. I go ahead and tap like that. I'll have mana left over. We have another land drop left still. Decided to prohibit instead of Pyro. I don't really care about that. It's the second ephemerate. Like, we're both kind of off in our own worlds here. Whoever assembles Arc or Wall and Ephemerate first probably wins. It's a scred, that's fine. I'm aware I had the pulse window. That's why I was considering it. Well, there we go. So I already have the wall on the board. His entire turn consists of going for... If he decides to go for it, his entire turn will end up consisting of going for the Archaeomancer. So after a big old fight, until then I'm just going to go for card advantage, and in a fight I can go for the Ephemerate. That'll win me the fight. Because resolving this Ephemerate ends the game. Until then I'm kind of content to go for this Flashback Alchemy. His mana's pressured. He does have Astro. He's been doing pretty good with his auger hits then if he's on Astro. He's set up a few, but definitely not all of them. How aggressive are you feeling? Flashback Alchemy. I stole initiative this game. He was able to steal it last game and get under my prohibit with his Arcanomancer, but not this one. Goes for the Dispel. That is fine. That's a very, very strong draw. Get my own Dispel. We're going for it. I should be able to win this fight. Question is if we Hydro or not. Like, I could just let this happen and pulse up my dude. That's perfectly fine. I think I'm going to. We're just going to go for the pulse after the fact. Actually, we're just going to play Mortmire. Get my dude back like that. I just don't see a need to fight over that badly. It's like getting value out of my graveyard recursion is just going to be as draining as resolving the Ephemerate there. And I value getting value out of my Pulse and Mortmire pretty highly here. One out Ephemerate the Summoning Sick Wall. Right. Gotta play around the fact that I might be able to attack with him. 3, 4. He's going for the arc. We'll fight. Even if I lose the fight, it's fine. He'll be tapped out. Most likely, at least. Ooh, Hydro. Dispel your Hydro. Another Hydro. Feels bad, man. Alright, he wins the fight. And I get to fight back when I untap. Gets back Dispel. Goes for the Ephemerate. Hydros are kind of brutal there. Because I can't really go for Ephemerate that easily now. The double Hydro is really, really brutal. I was expecting some Pyros, hopefully. I guess we still grab the Ephemerate. It's the biggest threat there. We don't go for it. Muldrifter, why didn't you attack? I clicked on you. Probably wins the fight here. Double Hydro draw versus my one Hydro, one Pyro there. It's a little brutal. We're losing this game mainly to never drawing teachings. That's probably our biggest issue here, is that we just never had it. It's really hard to fight in a fair game without the teachings here. We still have the chance to draw it, but we are pretty far behind in that fact. We just can't help but feel pretty stunted without it. That was probably my worst way to fight here. So he has Dispel Counterspell. Not much we know about. I think we just go for it and have to hope we win. Because he has enough to get back, it doesn't really matter anymore. He has a third Hydro, that's where it gets awkward. Because he has enough to get back. I'm just going to try and pressure the amount he's getting back with Ephemerate right now. Because he only gets one spell this way instead of multiple with multiple Ephemerates. If that makes sense. I have to buy time until I draw Teachings. And if I draw it too late, again, like we've gone through half our deck both games with 0 Teachings. Just pretty hard to fight over. Because he has more Ephemerates than us, so we need our Teachings to keep up. We're probably losing this to no Teachings again. We're almost out of counterspells now. It's been our biggest issue so far. Our flashback spells whiffed semi-hard. This game it wasn't so bad, but I only found one Forbidden Alchemy out of 4 flashback spells, same as last game. It's really hard to win without access to as many of them. He also has less Pyros than I would have expected post-board. I was expecting a lot more, and we drew our one of Hydro, and it's been dead. And that'll be the game, because we drew the island off the top. 1 flashback spell both games. This is not enough to win this fight. Because that's our advantage over him. Like, he's the more efficient deck in casting multiple Ephemerates in a turn, right? He has more counterspells than us, so we win the game by going over him with flashback spells. So when you find 1 both games, it's pretty hard to win. I think the matchup is winnable. I think it's a very close matchup. I played to buy time into my flashback spell, and I never drew it. Fairly unfortunate. I would have liked to see it. Like, we dug pretty hard for it. I definitely tried to find it, and I failed both games. I did make a misplay because I assumed he would have a... I could have used my Hydro on a Scred. I assumed he would have had Pyro, but then he just had double Hydro on the Ephemerate turn, and that kind of blew us out. I was expecting a Pyro there to come down, and I was expecting to win the fight off the Hydro. Yeah, only 1 Drifter both games. Like, we just drew poorly. Like, we didn't draw very bad, but in the context of the matchup, we drew poorly. It happens. Like, it's a close enough matchup to where you do have these games where you just draw a bunch of mediocre 1-for-1s. Our opponent is the better 1-for-1 deck. He drew his card advantage creatures to Ephemerate aggressively. I did not. It happens. I'm not too upset about the loss. I'm a little annoyed that it happened 2 games in a row. Would have liked to at least take 1 off him and have it happen 2 games, but it is what it is. I'll accept it. Just played out poorly.